So if you didn't check it out, please go and check out one of our recent videos on cloud storage. Our the one before our last topic of the day was on cloud storage, guys. Utilizing cloud storage can save a lot of disk space. When you're no longer needing to have to store things specifically on your workstation, you can store them in the cloud, saving up on a lot of drive space, especially if you're the kind of person that works on projects that include large video files, a lot of pictures. If you are able to store those in, for instance, your OneDrive, you will be able to minimize that space on your actual hard drive. Now, in some cases, such as OneDrive cloud storage, there is still a circumstance where this data may be stored on your system as well, and you want to avoid that happening. You want to make sure that you're storing it in cloud storage that is only accessible and only grabs the files as you need them. And one way to confirm that, if you guys are using OneDrive, I'll give you a quick tip as to how to do that. All you're going to need to do is in your bottom right corner, you'll see OneDrive icon. It looks like a little cloud, a blue cloud. You're going to want to right click on that, or a gray cloud. You're going to right click on that and select settings. In there, this is what will pop up. When this pops up, you're going to want to make sure that files on demand in the settings tab here at the bottom, files on demand is turned on. This will allow you to save space and only download files as you need them. If you turn this off, it will automatically download everything from your cloud storage and put it available on your system, so that you can grab that from your file explorer, which is what you don't want to do. And it will download and put everything in here, and that's exactly what you would like to avoid. But yes, that's a quick and easy way to make sure to double check that. Now, other cloud storage systems do operate differently. If you're on a Chrome device, your Google Drive may operate differently, but most of the time I've seen that OneDrive is primarily one of those cloud storage that can inflict a lot of disk space, as well as utilizing cloud storage. So you're going to want to make sure that you're turning on that files on demand option for OneDrive. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put a comment in the chat to let me know about what cloud storage you're using and how to avoid this. And then organizing your data, always very difficult, but guys, make sure you keep things as organized as possible. If you have separate drives, make sure that you're keeping all of your data on a D drive or another drive that you have that's specifically for your data. Store it well, make sure that you know where you're storing things that you need, and that if you don't need them, as I will say, you're going to want to delete those files. So organizing is a very taxing thing to do, and especially if you have put it off, but I highly recommend that you sit down and organize your drives. That way you'll know exactly what you can delete and what you need. Now, deleting duplicates. This happens a lot. You may download multiple versions of the same file. Do not keep them. Don't wait to do it later on. Delete duplicates. Uninstall unnecessary programs. Guys, on your C drive especially, that will most likely hold your program files, can hold a lot of space from unnecessary programs that you may have used before or no longer even have subscriptions to. Make sure to uninstall those programs. Don't keep them on your system unnecessarily. Some of them can take up a lot of space, especially if they're games, or video games for that matter, can take up a large amount of space. And as I said previously, delete files that you will not use again. By organizing your data, you will avoid having to be in this situation. Delete those files that you will not be using again, guys. Do not worry about keeping them on there, or if you are truly worried, put them in a folder in your cloud storage for may use later, something of that nature, which ties into the organization, guys. Know what to store locally on your machine and what to utilize in your cloud storage. Then it's going to be using the disk cleanup feature that comes with Windows, and using your storage sense feature that comes with Windows 10, and I'll be demoing those right now. And as I said, yes, you're going to want to use your Windows disk cleanup. A lot of people aren't familiar with this. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to use it. And then if you have Windows 10, Storage Sense also does something very particular and very similar that can help you also see where your data is being stored, as well as how to clean up unnecessary space. things that are taking up unnecessary space. And then there's also different other software that you can use to really depict exactly where your disk space is being used. The one that I'll be showcasing for you guys today is Treesize. Now, it's just one that I've used especially for troubleshooting issues with our clients, those clients that may not have a lot of disk space and they want to clean up some disk space. I use Treesize to see exactly what is taking up space on whatever drive it is that is suffering from low disk space. So let's start off with Windows Disk Cleanup. So pretty easy stuff here, guys. You're going to want to open up your File Explorer, go to this PC, and as you can see, guys, this is going to be primarily useful for me. I am about 5% of my local disk space here, but I do have a data drive which is going to be taking up a lot more space, and which is what I use for storing a lot of my data. This has a lot of things I need to remove off of it right now. And this is exactly why I wanted to do this topic, because I'm in a situation where I'm nearing 5%, actually I'm under 5% of my local disk space, which can affect my operating system. So one thing I'm going to do is you're going to want to right click it and then go to Properties. So after you go to PC, go to Properties, and you will see that there is a disk cleanup function. So it's be in the General tab, make sure you're on the General tab, and then you're going to select Disk Cleanup. So right now this is not going to clean up a whole lot of my files, and I'm going to have to do a lot more digging. Actually, I'm wrong. You can use Disk Cleanup to free up 23.9 gigs of disk space on my C drive, guys. That is a lot. So let's clean up system files. Let's do that. This could take a while, especially since it's saying that it's going to clean up 29 gigs. One thing that can also work, so it did clean up the disk. My downloads are 23.8 gigs, guys. I was gonna say to delete your downloads folder. A lot of the time your downloads can take up so much space. Look at that. By deleting 23.8 gigs, I'm gonna be saving, by deleting my downloads folder, clearing that out, I'm gonna be saving 24 gigs. So I'm gonna do that immediately, guys. Clear off all these kind of things as well. Just turn off all of them. Now, of course, you can go through here, especially some people don't like to delete the recycle bin. A recycle bin can take up a lot of space, so you may want to do that as well. I'm just going to go through, but you can go through these and see. A lot of them that are going to be pre-ticked are going to be okay to delete. Most of them are okay to delete, guys. Temporary internet files you can get rid of. Download program files, Windows upgrade log files, all of these things you can clear out. And now, okay, let's delete these files. This is going to take quite a bit of time, so I'm not going to wait for it to go through. Next thing is you can also, once this is finished, actually it may be moving quite fast actually. So it did go through. Refreshing to see. Didn't clean up as much space as it said it would. So it didn't go through the whole downloads file. I'll be going through that in a moment. One other thing that you can check, guys, is after you do the disk cleanup, you can go to more options here. This will pop up, disk cleanup, and you can go to your system restore and shadow copies. So sometimes whenever your system, if you guys have ever done like a reset, a system reset, or reset from a previous version or previous system restore, it's when your PC Windows makes multiple copies of your, for instance, how your operating system at that moment was. In this case, you don't need to keep the copies before the most recent one. So what this does is allows you to clean up all the other restore points besides the one that you currently have. So the most previous one it will keep, and any other old ones it will flush out. So that's one way to clean up a lot of disk space as well. So we're gonna go and do that, delete those files, okay. I'm gonna finish up cleaning up a lot of this disk space. Completely delete my downloads folder. I'll be getting into that shortly. But yeah, guys, that's how you utilize the disk cleanup function. And you can see why I was a little bit, heading toward the direction as why I needed to do this for this stream. So I'll be finishing up this after we finish up this topic of the day. The next thing that you're going to want to use is the storage sense, the Windows 10 storage sense. So all you need to do is go to your settings, then you can go to your home. So you can go to the home here, go to system, and then go to storage. And in your storage, you'll see that there is a breakdown of all of your categories of what is taking up your disk space. This is going to be similar to how Treesize operates, except it will not give you too much specifics about exactly what is taking up the most space. It's just going to be a little bit more broad. Now what you can do is select configure storage sense or run it now. You're going to want to make sure that storage sense is turned on. It will automatically free up disk space by getting rid of files that you don't need, like temporary files and content in your recycle bin. So make sure this is turned on in your Windows 10. This only works for Windows 10, guys. Just make sure that you are trying it if you are on a Windows 10 machine. Select configure storage sense or run it now. You can click on this, set it to delete files in your recycle bin every 30 days, delete files in your downloads folder. I have it set to never, which I'm going to want to change to 30 days. And then I'm going to run the cleanup now. So it's going to do a very similar thing to the disk cleanup that we just showcased. But this was able to clean up 5 gigs of disk space. So, and that's one way. Another way to clean up your disk space. Now, the software that I mentioned earlier, Treesize, will be able to depict is a really good way at showing exactly what is taking up large amounts of data on your device, on your hard drive, on your disk. Now, the first thing you're going to do is after you've gotten this software running, if you're utilizing Treesize, is I just select the drive in which I'm actually looking to break down. So I select the local drive. It's going to start to go, continue. It's going to start to break down exactly where everything is being stored. So as you guys can see, my program files, which as I said earlier, the video games, can take up quite a lot of space. So this is something that will definitely be getting cleaned up shortly. This is a lot of disk space. Steam is taking up about 150 gigs on this device. The program files, Epic Games, that's gonna be, yeah, of course. So I see where a lot of my disk space is being taken up by using this software, Treesize. If you guys have any questions about it, or you're looking for any other software, please don't hesitate to let me know. Shoot me a message in the chat. But this is really useful. I use this specifically for whenever I'm troubleshooting issues with our clients having large sets, not a lot of disk space remaining. I'm able to break it down and see what things I can remove that aren't actually their documents. Things like unnecessary documents go beyond the mile of just utilizing the disk cleanup and the storage sense features. But I know exactly what I will be doing after we end this topic of the day, and that will be clearing out my program files and trying to create as much disk space as I possibly can. Just from doing that alone, guys, remember this started at 17.8. I was able to double my disk space, and it only took us maybe 5 minutes to run those two things. So I highly recommend that you give that a shot. Keep your data organized. Make sure to follow the rules that we just went through, and you will really avoid having to be in this situation too often. So, but once again, thumbs up for that, because yes, you can avoid having to constantly clean up your disk space, and you have all the tools necessary in order to do so, guys. So make sure that if you have any questions, to shoot me a message in the comment section below. That wraps it up for today's topic of the day. All right, guys, I appreciate you tuning in.